kind of have been navigating through letting go of relationships and letting go of people, and knowing that like everyone that's involved in our lives are just here for chapters. Like no one is permanent. Allowing things and surrendering to things just happening, like being okay with like our settings, our living environment, like things change, and everything is for a chapter. Not trying to control what's actually going on, because everything is happening in divine timing.
My name is Jordan, and for the last 9 years, I've been living for what many might have looked like a dream. I was a real estate broker in one of the fastest growing cities of America, but for some reason could just never quite find happiness. After being diagnosed with a rare, incurable eye disease that oftentimes leads to blindness, I decided now more than ever is a time for me to follow my true dreams, which is to see the world. So I packed up my bags, packed up my home, and bought a one-way ticket across the world. During my solo travels, I rediscovered a new meaning for life and found that there was hope for me to heal my own body. I'm so excited that you're joining me on this journey as I rediscover me and find that this diagnosis was the best thing that ever happened to me.
So it's Friday night, and I told myself that when I felt inspired to create, that I was going to create. So tonight, um, I wanted to touch on just some things that I'm experiencing that I know others can relate to. So I, a lot has changed in my life, obviously. And one of the things that's changed tremendously is like my relationships. And I've talked about this a little bit, but not super in depth. But yesterday, when I got the news that about my eye changes, it just kind of set in that like my relationships are just so different now. Um, since like getting back from Thailand, I knew when I was gone that I was changing. Um, I knew that I would never be the same whenever I came back. So I was actually kind of having anxiety when I was in Thailand, even from like the second week I was there, about coming back, because I knew that I would never be the same, and I knew that there was no way that I was gonna like still connect with the people that I previously like were friends with and connected with. Um, so yeah, so sure enough, when I came back, um, I obviously moved out to a camper out in like the country, which is like an hour or so away from Dallas. Um, and I told myself that I was really going to focus on me, and I really didn't want many distractions. So I started to do things like I kind of started to like set boundaries with friends, like they knew that I was really focusing on me, like basically like don't call me every day, if possible, just because like I'm focusing on like what's happening here, and I don't want to be focusing on what's happening other places. But I also like started unfollowing people on social media. Again, not any kind of like any rude or hateful way. Just I only wanted to follow like meme accounts and like spirituality and yoga accounts. I really didn't want to follow accounts of like people that I know, because I didn't want to be like comparing my life to them. Because like when you're sitting in a camper isolated and you're watching everyone on social media go about their lives, um, it, it, it was hard, and I knew it was going to be hard. So I just figured that I was going to unfollow everybody, and only follow like, I probably followed like 5 friends, a few family members, and the rest were like yoga accounts or Buddhist accounts. So yeah. So I kind of started to do some things to set myself up to really focus on myself. Um, I did try to maintain some relationships, like some of my close friendships. But I knew, and I know now, that like I'm just so different. And it's like even having conversations with people, it's weird because um, I just feel like we don't relate to each other anymore. And so, yeah, so basically over the past couple of like months, I've slowly started to watch my relationships disappear. Um, and previously, when I've had stuff like that happen, I've felt a lot of like victimhood. Like I felt like somebody abandoned me or someone screwed me over or someone didn't care about me or didn't love me. And now that like all of this is happening and I honestly was expecting it, I have been looking at things a lot differently. I have now just had a sense of like gratitude and love for those people that are no longer really in my life anymore. Because I now realize that like all of these people play such an important role in just like different chapters of our lives. And like even people that I'm no longer speaking with or people that I've had falling outs with over the years, I no longer look at that situation as me being abandoned or me not being good enough or them not loving me enough or me not being able to maintain relationships. Like I am looking at it like I have so much gratitude for the part that you played in my life when I needed you in that part. So it's just, yeah, things have just been super, super. I've had a different outlook. Things have been different, and um, it's been really peaceful. So yeah, I mean, as I kind of have been navigating through letting go of relationships and letting go of people and knowing that like everyone that's involved in our lives are just here for chapters. Like no one is permanent. Not family members, not your significant other. Like we come into this world alone and we leave this world alone. um so yeah, so I've been navigating that. And so yesterday I had gotten really exciting news about my eyes. I've been working with an iridologist, a neuropathic doctor, and she basically looked at my uh it was kind of like a follow up, I guess you would say. So I've been on this lifestyle change detox for the past 2.5 months. I started December 1st. And so she was basically doing like, she was kind of comparing what we looked at when we first started and then where I'm at now. And the news that I got was just so exciting. Basically, like she was able to see my eyes look night and day. Like they look like a different person. And if you're familiar with iridology, you know that like they study the irises and the colors and like the pigments and stuff in your irises. So she was explaining to me like some people have slight differences at the 2.5, 3 month mark. Some people have slight differences, but she was like, yours look like a totally different person. Like they don't even look like they're the same human that that it was before. So I got really, really good news. I had like an hour and a half long call with her. She basically went over everything. Um, and I was super excited. And granted, when I was talking to her, it was like 8:30, 9:30 at night because she's in Thailand, so it's a 12-hour difference. But when I hung up the phone with her, I was so excited. Like I wanted to cry, but I couldn't even really like I don't know, like it was this really weird feeling because I knew that things were changing my body. I've noticed the changes in my body from like emotionally, physically, the way that I feel, my energy, but to see it um like in black and white, to like see like the pictures of my eyes from 2.5 months ago and now, like it was a really crazy feeling because like I knew that it had like I knew that I'm changing, my body's healing, but to actually see it was just like really crazy. And last night I was like so excited and I just wanted to tell someone. I wanted someone to be excited with me. And I went to like call my brother and he was like already asleep. Like he was already in bed. So I didn't really want to bother him. And then I went to go call my um like high school best friend and he didn't answer. And I knew my parents were asleep. So like I just kind of realized I'm like I literally have nobody to celebrate this with. And it was a really weird feeling. Um it was super surreal because it was kind of sad because it was just more of a reminder that like all of these people that I probably would have texted and been like, "Oh my god, like I can't believe this." All those people are no longer really around or in my life anymore, or like it's or they're people that like maybe I still talk to occasionally, but I don't really feel like 100% like it's just not something that I would like want to share with them because I don't really feel like they would get it. Um, and it was just weird. Like I had no one to celebrate with. And it was just like another reminder that like how much my relationships have changed, how much when you start going down this journey of truly like finding yourself, most of the time it requires you to be alone. When you aren't alone, it makes it really hard to like actually listen to your heart, follow your intuition, hear and see those signs. When you have a lot of distractions, when you have people to bounce ideas off of or get their feedback on, like it becomes really hard. So oftentimes, oftentimes this journey requires isolation. And like if you see anything with spirituality, if you've talked to anybody that's gone down that road, like mostly everyone tells you like yes, you lose it all before you really find yourself or while you're finding yourself. So it was just weird last night. um and even so, like, you know, I'm still very close with my family, and um even that situation, like I had message I'm in a group chat with like my family, my mom's side, and there's probably like 20 people in that group chat, and I had messaged them and sent them like the before and after pictures, and like maybe two or three people responded and was like, wow, that's so interesting, or I don't even remember what was said, but yeah, like two or three people responded, and then immediately somebody kind of changed the subject to talk about like one of my cousins that had her wisdom teeth out. And like it didn't really occur to me until later, but like after watching messages for like an hour or two, no, I'm sorry, for like a day about my cousin getting her wisdom teeth out, I just kind of like made me notice how like something that I'm going through as far as like literally I've uprooted my entire life. Like I've given up my career, given up my friends, given up like stability. Like I live in a camper in the middle of nowhere. I had to stop driving. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I've literally given up everything. And to share this really special news with like my family, the only people I'm really close with, and then them to kind of like brush over it. I don't think that it was coming from like a bad place, but it was just like another reminder that I am so solo on this journey. Like I'm the only person that's changed I've changed my life. Like there's nobody else that's affected by my life change. Um I'm the only person that's like had the threat of like going blind. I'm the only person that's like literally dedicated every single dollar in my bank account to healing myself. Like I am the only person that's experiencing this. And even though people are supporting me and they love me, um, it's it's really hard for them to even kind of understand. So it just kind of made me realize that my excitement level is going to be totally different than theirs because they didn't make all the sacrifices that I did. Like this is not something that's affecting them. Like it's sad for them. And like I know that they're proud of me, but at the end of the day, like it's like I kind of compare it to like an Olympian. Like if they trained their entire life to win a race and then they win that race, like yes, their family members are going to be so excited for them, but their family members were not didn't put in that work, didn't put in the sacrifices to like get to that point. So it just was like a realization that even with the relationships that I do have with my family, and they're so supportive, that it's not realistic to expect them to be as excited and understand my excitement and understand my life choices. So it's just been a really kind of it's been an interesting observation. I'm now starting to like, instead of getting upset about things, um like I'll allow myself, like I cried a couple of times about this. But I just it's becoming more of just like an observation. And I just wanted to touch base on like, when you do start changing, everything around you changes. I think it's not realistic to think that you can have your life change and everything in your life not change. Like that doesn't even make sense. So I just wanted like to emphasize that like when things do start changing, like don't be upset about it. Like just acknowledge it, surrender to it, be okay with the things that are changing. Because that's 9 times out of 10, like that's what you wanted. That's what you asked for. You wanted something life changing. You wanted something different. But a lot of times we're not emotionally prepared to deal with what that looks like because it's hard. Um, Luckily, I was prepared for it. It's made things a little bit easier for sure. I'm able to just reflect on things instead of like getting emotionally involved or upset about it. But I just wanted, like, I know a handful of people like that have gone down this journey similar to me, that it can be very, not it can, it is very isolating, regardless if you're living in a camper in the middle of nowhere or if you're living in the middle of the city. This, like, finding yourself seeking the truth, seeking, you know, what's really real, it is extremely isolating, but it's also super beautiful. Um, it's also just a test to all of these lessons of like allowing things and surrendering to things just happening, like being okay with the fact that relationships come and go, being okay with like our settings, our living environment, like things change, and everything is for a chapter, and not trying to control what's actually going on because everything is happening in divine timing. So this has just been kind of like my lesson that I've been dealing with the past like couple of weeks. And then it really hit home to me last night when I got that call, and I was like so excited and I wanted to share that, that news with somebody. But just realizing that, like, I don't need to have somebody pat me on the back, and be like, wow, I'm so proud of you. Wow, you did such a good job. Um, like, wow, this is so great for you. Like, I don't need that. And I think that's what I realized like today, that I felt sad because I felt like I had nobody to call, or that people weren't as excited for me as I was for myself. But I think I needed to realize that it's like, this is a solo journey. I'm on this journey. Everyone else is on their own journeys. Um, and we can just support people as best as we can. But at the end of the day, like, that's why it's so important to live your life fully for you. Not make decisions based off of things that like you think your family's going to think, or your significant other is going to think, or or what society is going to think, or people that that follow you on Instagram. Like, you need to be making your decisions for you, because at the end of the day, like, you're the only person that lives with you. Like, you may even go to sleep at night sleeping next to somebody, but like only you is going to sleep inside of your head. And if you're not following your dreams, following what's true to you, listening to your heart, your intuition, like, you're doing it wrong. Because this life that we have to live, like, a it's a solo journey. um we are all so connected, like all of us have so like we are so connected, but we're also very solo and independent in this journey. And it's just interesting. I'm just coming to realize that more and more, but I'm so okay with it. And um it's just learning. So I just wanted to share this.